because I have a ton of clips, progress clips, if you will, from the biggest parts of my recovery with my recent injury. Now, if you have been watching my videos closely, then you know that it's something I talk about kind of often. I recently had a bad knee injury that resulted in me getting a MPFL reconstruction surgery. And let me tell you, that knocked the socks out of me, okay? I thought the surgery was going to be the worst part, but the recovery was not what I was expecting at all. And so I thought I would share that journey with you all, because as I was going through this process to motivate myself, I would take progress clips. And so what I am about to show you is a compilation of much of that work, starting from the day of my surgery to, I don't know, maybe the first 6 months. Of course, it doesn't cover everything. It is a highlight reel, so there are lots of moments with me crying, not feeling well, being really frustrated and upset. So I want to create space for that as well, because you're going to see clips of me smiling and being proud of being able to accomplish new things, and I want to honor that. And I also want to honor that everybody's recovery looks different, and it's never easy. It's never an easy journey. It takes a lot of hard work, and it's very painful and mentally and physically exhausting. So again, I just wanted to come on here to give that little preface, because once this clip ends, we're going to roll right into all of the other clips of my recovery. I will do my best to explain what's going on, and I don't think I'm missing anything at this point. The reason why this video is formatted in this way is because the clips I took are also formatted in this way. I wasn't thinking about it in terms of, oh, I'm gonna make this a YouTube video one day, which maybe I should have. But regardless, I hope you enjoy this very personal look at where I've been the last 6 months. And of course, if you have any questions, please do let me know, and I will try to cover as much as I can. So with that, thank you as always for being here and for watching and for being along with me for this journey. I so appreciate it. And yeah, let's get into it. So as you can see right now, we are in pre-op, and I am just jamming out to Speed Drive by Charlie XCX on a loop, because I was heavily medicated at this time and not feeling super stressed, which is nice. Here we are the day after. As you can see, I'm very limited in my movement and not much is happening. I'm all wrapped up, and I was here for quite a while, right? I was really just getting up to go to the bathroom, which was really, really difficult. And so I really stayed like this for quite a while and just trying to sleep and keep up on my pain meds and relax. Here I am on my first trip out of the house to my physical therapy appointment, which was both painful and scary and resulted in a lot of tears, but here we are, we made it happen. And this is about 2 weeks afterwards, where I met with my surgeon to get my wrap removed. Trigger warning, that's a little bit gross, sorry about that. But as you can see, I'm not even looking at my knee because I was afraid of how gross it was. So this is how I would get up and down my stairs after a while. It took me a while to get to the place where I could confidently do this. A lot of it was butt scooting up and down the stairs for the first bit of time. And just for context, this clip really shows how difficult it was for me to bend my knee at the very beginning. This was maybe the first week in, and this caused me so much pain and discomfort. And as you can see, I had a lot of atrophy in my quad just no muscle there, so it was really quite impossible for me at that time to lift it up. I couldn't put any weight on that leg, so building muscle was super difficult during this time. This is how I would wash my hair, just from a bowl on the couch, because I couldn't get in and out of the shower, and honestly was very afraid to dry, so it took me a while to get back to that. And here we are, just practicing some leg lifts. At this point, I was really just using my arm muscle. No part of me was actually holding up my leg because, again, was dealing with a lot of atrophy at that time, and it took me a while to use the leg. But as you can see, I am showing off that definition that eventually did come about. It's not much, but before there was absolutely nothing. Like, I couldn't see any definition there. Okay, so on this day, my mom took me to Walmart to get me out of the house so I could go buy some more comfy clothes, because I was also just not doing well mentally with being on the couch all day every day. I wasn't really supposed to use a wheelchair, but as you can probably guess, I was in no shape to be walking around a big store like that, and I again, really needed to get out, and I appreciated that. But later on, this is the only other time I used the wheelchair. It was to go to a concert. It was K-Flay, and I obviously could not stand up for 2 hours straight, so I brought the wheelchair and we jammed out, and that was great. Okay, so big monumental moment here. This was after my brace was unlocked, which meant my brace was no longer completely straight. I could actually bend my leg, and so this is the first time I got in the car in the front seat, because before I was just lounging around in the back, so that was cool. Okay, and here's some progress happening at the physical therapist's office, bending my knee much more than I had been doing before, which is great. And also at physical therapy, I did a lot of pool work, so that was a good way for me to practice movement and stretches and trying to rebuild some muscle, because there was no gravity, of course, in the pool, which meant things were a lot less scary and a lot more doable, right? Not to say it was easy, it was still not easy, but for a good amount of time I did spend some time in the pool. And the scariest part was honestly getting in and out, because that gravity to no gravity feeling was strange. Alright, now here we are. This is how I was walking for a while with just 2 crutches, and you can tell I'm really, really slow, not very confident at all. It took me so long to build that back up. But I do want to show some clips now of the progress in terms of walking and how I kind of got back on my feet, so to speak. Okay, so after about, I want to say 4 to 5 weeks, I was permitted to start practicing with 1 crutch, which you can see is what's happening here at home in my hallway. I was so nervous to actually do that because, after a certain point of time, you rely on using 2 crutches. And for me, I was completely non-weight bearing on my surgical leg for a total of 8 to 9 weeks, because once I actually had my injury, I was immediately put on crutches because my leg was toast. And then it took about 3 to 4 weeks to get scheduled for my surgery. And then again, for 4 to 5 weeks afterwards, I was non-weight bearing, which meant I couldn't put any weight on my leg. So I was really at this point used to having the crutches. Was I good at using them? No, not at all. But, I was still used to it. And so, as you can see, I'm keeping that other crutch very close to me. I'm really nervous about putting weight on the leg. It's not comfortable at all. And it's just something that I had to really adjust to. And I would spend, some part of every day doing laps down this hallway. And it was frustrating because you can see how slow it is, and it felt like this agonizing process where I was not going to get any better. And I'm really lucky that eventually I did, right? It took some time, but we got there. And, it's easy to look back in hindsight and say, like, oh, do my surgery, and all of these sort of anxious thoughts were going through my head at the time, and I think they were valid. It was sort of this huge trauma where I was just out feeding the birds and I slipped on my deck and did a ton of damage to both my MPFL ligament and the cartilage in my knee. So, I think it was actually warranted. Okay, so here we are. This is another clip. I will tell you that I know it's hard to believe because I am in fact wearing the exact same outfit. And just to be clear, it's not that my clothes were not getting washed. They were. Not by me, but by my wonderful roommate and mom. But there was only so much I had that I felt comfortable wearing because I was just constantly so uncomfortable. And it was not easy for me to get in and out of things. Like, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but because of the leg atrophy, I couldn't lift my leg, period, without the use of my arms. So to get in and out of something was very difficult. I had to be like super flexible and try to find weird, unique ways to make things happen because I was just really limited in so many ways with how I could use that right leg. And as you can see, the brace is just massive. I mean, I couldn't really fit that under anything. So just a lot of discomfort and a lot of repeat outfits because of the need for comfort at that time. And it's not like I was going out or doing anything. I was trapped in my house for quite a big chunk of time, other than going to my physical therapy appointments or check-ins with my surgeon. So, and honestly, for the best, it's not like I wanted to go gallivanting. It was really hard to just simply do this, but as you can see, we are making progress. I don't know why I said that word so weirdly, but the crutch is a lot farther away. So I was gaining confidence slowly. Okay, here we are. We do have an outfit change, friends. That's wonderful news. And my cat is featured in this particular clip. He was constantly so nervous for me, I swear. He was a great little nurse, just keeping an eye on me and meowing for my roommate if he thought something was wrong. But you can see we're picking up speed, feeling like Hot Wheels in this moment, because we're really just cruising up and down the hallway at this point, which was nice. And so this was a big moment for me. As you'll notice, I finally lift up that crutch, so I'm walking completely free of any aid from the crutch, and I was really proud of myself. You can tell I'm just smiling because I was terrified of trying to do that, but felt really empowered when I did it. So once we were able to ditch that crutch, we totally did. That happened within the span of about a week. And so, I'm still moving quite slowly, but you see there is immense progress because there's not even a crutch in the hallway at this point. You don't see it at all. I was feeling a lot more capable and still a little bit nervous. Sure, I probably could have been going faster than that, but it took me a while to build up that confidence, and I was okay with that because, again, I just really didn't want to get hurt. That was such a huge concern of mine for a long time. And again, I have my little nurse friend, Kitty, helping me out and making sure all is well. It's really sweet for that. And so this is after an appointment with my surgeon where I basically got demoted from my big brace to my small brace, which is awesome. More progress. And so here I am practicing with that smaller brace. It's nice because I was able to start wearing sweatpants and baggier pants that, would fit over the brace because this one was substantially smaller. As you can tell, I still have a pretty significant limp at this point that I was really trying hard to correct. But again, it takes time. And even though it was great news to be in that smaller brace, it brought out some new anxieties because it was like every time I would get comfortable with something, I feel like there would be a change. And so going from 2 crutches to 1 to none to a completely different brace, it's just everything about that and the way your body moves feels different. And so for somebody who has anxiety like I do, I'm just thinking about that constantly. And so So it wasn't just like, okay, I'm in this new brace, all is well, everything's back to normal. There was still a huge learning curve and gaining that confidence, but you can tell like I am naturally picking up speed. I'm touching the walls a lot less, like it is happening, which is great. Here I am the day I got the cast or the brace completely removed. You can tell a lot of trepidation there. I'm going super slow, but you know what, we're doing it, and the leg was healing up nicely, still swollen but better. And this was actually a few weeks ago when I got final approval from my surgeon that I was done with PT, done with the checkups, of course, unless something happened, right? But this hallway that used to be a complete nightmare to me, I was walking down it no problem, so that was a big deal. Okay, so beyond walking, I also did a lot of exercises at home and in PT to just help with overall movement. So doing these high knees was a big part of that. I did a lot of those every single day just to help with flexibility. And this leg lift that I'm doing where I'm grabbing my foot from behind, I did not think I was going to be able to do that again for real. Like, that took me so long to be able to do, and it's not comfortable, but we're doing it. And here I am practicing my jogging, just showing off a little bit. Okay, so this stretch that I'm doing right here is really what finally was what gave me the strength to sort of like lift up my leg from behind. Tons and tons and tons of doing that. I would say every day at home I would spend 30 to 60 minutes 3 times a day doing stretches like this. This is just one of the many, but I was really, really diligent about doing that work because I was so scared that I was going to stall in my progress and not be able to achieve the things that I used to be able to achieve. Now, to be clear, there are some limits that I may always have. My left leg and right leg are completely different because I have issues, or have had issues on both sides. Now I have a healed, strong ligament on one side, and the other that is, for lack of a better term, pretty loosey-goosey. So I'm super flexible on one side and still working up to things on the other side. I doubt they will ever be the same at this point, but I'm okay with that because it means I have a stronger leg. And I'm just going to do my best to protect my non-surgical leg from any kind of damage, like the right one faced. So again, practicing this quite often, lots of cracking and popping and gross noises that are muted. Okay, lots of bike work. The second I was able to start getting on a bike, I was so jazzed to do it. And so I would do this before every single physical therapy session. I would show up 10 to 15 minutes early just so I could warm up my leg on the bike. That was really important to me so that things didn't feel so tight. And so now I do this at the gym every time I go, 20 to 30 minutes on the bike. I also am always doing leg presses to build up the muscle and the strength in both of my legs. So not just keeping my surgical leg, in check, but also my left leg as well. Okay, during PT, my therapist also taught me how to do deadlifts. Don't come for me in the comments. I know this is not perfect form. I had never done these before, but it was another great way to add strength to different parts of my body, so that was cool. Okay, now this I actually never thought I would be able to do again, and apologies for all of the feet that you are seeing in this video. It is what it is. I'm sorry about it. But I love sitting crisscross applesauce, and I absolutely never thought I'd be able to do it again because of all of the tightness in my hip and my thigh and my knee, literally my entire leg. But here we are, we're doing it, and I can do it so much better than this now, and I'm shocked by it. And last sort of progress clip here is jogging. The high impact of jogging has been a real challenge for me, but I am progressively getting better. I usually do a minute walking, a minute jogging, just to kind of build back up, but I'm enjoying getting back into it. And so that's where we're at. Here I am with my roommate out in the wild, living life, doing things, and it's been really wonderful. I cannot express the feeling at the very beginning of this process, and I'm really grateful to be in a situation now where I am getting back to normal. And sure, like I said, it's possible that I will always have certain limitations because now